Shorts or long? Don't know, man. Waiting for a setup. Patience, patience, patience. I would imagine we're going to sweep up some of this sell side liquidity here, but we're going to wait and see. Judo, what up? What it do? There's Asia low. We got a nice little gap right over here that I think probably wants to get filled. Morning, Mason. How's it going, man? Loving the outfit. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate that. Morning's good, man. Morning's been going good. Had some solid prayer time. Went for a little walk. Had some coffee. Yeah, we just filled that gap mostly. Rumor has it Christian is full porting today. That's a rumor. That's a bad rumor right there, man. Yo, what it do? Is it Isaiah? Is that how you say your name? Man, we are just dumping here. Holy cow. Those the economic news that came out was not really bad. I mean, it's a little bit. Personal spending month over month was down, but a tenth of a percent. Everything else was up. Personal income was up. I guess employment cost was up, but a tenth of a percent. So there's not really any negative news going on right now. We also just got a trade deal signed, or at least preliminary terms agreed upon with South Korea. So, based on that, I would think that we're probably going to make a move up. I do love Jesus, absolutely. I was waiting for you to go live. Nice, man. Glad you guys are enjoying this. Isaiah's? Okay, cool. Morning, Zachary. How's it going, man? Logan, if you're short from the top here, man, you're eating. 140 points so far. That's a big dump. We just filled that gap. Was that a new day opening gap over here? So let's see what it does here. See if it pushes lower or if it wants to head higher. Nice, Steven. Yeah. Don't force it. Only take some good setups, man. Don't I've been so close to passing evals before, and how's it going, Zach? I just saw your message, man. I've been so close to passing before. I've been like one time I was within like $80 of passing an eval, and I ended up blowing it. So lesson learned on that: do not force it. Took a pre-market short and made that money. Nice, man. Logan. Hey, man, a dollar in a dream. Isn't that what J. Cole says? Appreciate the follow, Logan. How you doing, Zach? How's it going, man? Good deal. Nice. Love to hear it. Yeah, me too, man. You and me both. I'm going to be as patient as I can. I trimmed my beard right before I went live and forgot to brush it out, and I think I just like got a mouthful of little. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have shared that, but how's the orb strategy even work? It's 15-minute. Well, the 15-minute orb is what I'm familiar with, where you basically when the 15-minute closes, you mark out the high and the low, and this is somebody correct me if I'm wrong. You mark out the high and the low, and when price breaks through the high the level wherever it is, you target the other side, something like that. So if I were to mark this out, I think this is how it works. Let's say this let's say this candle is already closed. This is the opening 15. We're pretending here. I think that's the high, and then the low. You would wait for price to break out of one of the directions and then target the other side or something like that. Maybe I have that wrong. Something along those lines. Yeah, break and a retrace. Yeah, something. Yeah. Man, we are just dumping here. Holy cow. I knew we wanted to take out some of this sell side, but I didn't think it was going to dump like this. Appreciate the gift. Appreciate the rose. This is just dumping. Let's see, we got Chicago PMI in 7 minutes and 40 seconds here. It's yellow folder news. We're not really expecting a whole lot of movement from that, but it will be interesting. Did you take a trade yesterday? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, we took 2 or 3 trades yesterday. 2. Jan, what up? What am I looking for? Well, I'd like to see, we got a major sweep of these liquidity levels here. What I'd like to see is a breaker form and then potentially a reversal back up high. I would think with us coming to an agreement with South Korea for a trade deal prior to the tariff deadline. What's the tariff deadline tomorrow? Sometime soon. So I would imagine that price wants to go higher, but it could be, it could have, it's always got a mind of its own, it seems. We'll just take what it gives us. I do not trade the 15-minute orb. I've back tested it before, but what I trade basically the unicorn model or variations of it. Yeah, it could very well be like yesterday, which yesterday was decent price action. It just was a little bit choppy. And we had a couple of good setups. This setup right here I had marked out. I was talking with someone on the phone, and see if we can get back to it. Down here, this was a nice setup. It was against my trading rules, so I didn't take it. But this was a nice little breaker here. We had a 30-second that was holding down below right here. Come on. So you had a 30-second gap down here somewhere that was holding this price. And then, boom, Trump, I think it was Trump started speaking, and it just kind of took off from there. Appreciate the follows. Caught the crazy candle. Which one are you talking about? Insta stopped. Damn. I hope you weren't oversized on that, Judah. What's the best app for trading? I don't really recommend, especially if you're starting, to be trading from an app. Um, the best platform. Good morning, Jay. How's it going, man? Uh, this is TradingView. This is a website, and this is what I use for charting. But for executing my trades, I use a different website called Trade08. I'll type it in the chat. But this is what I have my prop firms connected to, so that I execute on there. It's faster executions. There's not as much slippage, and that's what I would recommend. Marco, no, we haven't taken a trade, man. We haven't seen a setup. Discipline, discipline. Yeah, that's smart. That's a smart risk management strategy there, Judah. Long on inversion. Maybe we want to see some pretty swift movements here before we get super interested. This consolidation is not going to be ideal. Yeah, we're pushing. We got a big 1 hour gap here. We'll just see what price wants to do. I don't, because you can't connect. I think that Binance isn't allowed. If you're in the U.S., they don't, for some reason, from what I remember, they don't allow you to connect. There was something weird with Binance, but no, I don't. For trading prop firms, the best way to go is Trade08 and TradingView. What up, Zip? Yeah, I'm well, full-time trader. This is my main source of income. Isaiah, this is the 1 minute. Oh, okay. You're in Sweden? Yeah, so it might work. Yeah. But again, for prop firms, like if you're trading prop firms, Trade08 is the way to go. Some people have talked about Rhythmic, other things I'm not familiar with, but Trade08 is, you can't go wrong. Nah, Nathan. I mean, unless you were Nostradamus and you saw this short coming, that's the only real. I wasn't just going to blind short. I'm waiting for the setup. We did sweep Asia and some sell side liquidity here. Filled this gap. There was a new day opening gap there. Now we're just pushing down into this 15. It's just dumping, man. This is a massive dump here at open. How many points is this? It's like 200 and something points, isn't it? Almost 200 points, 180. What broker? If you're trading prop firms, that's what I would do. I'd trade prop firms. Don't do personal capital if you're new to trading. If you haven't been consistently taking payouts from prop firms for 9 to 12 months of like solid, large payouts, you shouldn't even be considering personal capital. Most amount I made in a month, 30 something. 30 something. Not nearly as much as some of these other guys, but still decent. Yeah, even Judah, when I do connect my Trade of 8 to TradingView and it still lags because you got to think it's going through multiple different systems to execute the order. So for me, it's just not ideal. You got to kind of do the math on that, Max. You got to kind of do the math in your head super quick. You got to think if you're on micros, it's $2 per point. So, or if you're on a mini, it's $20 per point. With ES, it's $5 for a micro and $50 for a mini per point. Logan, did you make any money on that? I'm sure you did. That was a pretty handsome short you had there. 600? Nice. Or 6,000. Easily could have been 6,000 depending on your sizing. $6. That's right. You said, I got you, man. You must be trading personal capital. Get a prop firm account, bro. What's a good prop firm? Apex is good. Take Profit Trader is good. Top Step is good. A lot of people like that. Yeah. Oh, dude, we had a ton of news at 8:30, Nathan. Yeah, 3 red folder newses. We had 2 yellow folder news at the same time. We had news at 8:30. We got more news at 9:45. It just happened. Chicago PMI was up a lot, so you would think price would want to go. You got more news at 10:30. Natural gas storage. Nice. 772. Nice, man. Ryan Jewers. That dude's a very knowledgeable individual. I mean, all of this is kind of sell side, but there's a ton down here. There's a lot down here. All of this. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I do not use a 15-minute orb, and I have not taken a trade yet. No setup for us yet. Just kind of free falling here. Here we go. What's a good time frame to use a fib? Wherever the leg that swept more clearly presents itself, because I use like a fib in this scenario. If this continues to go higher, my fib would be like that. So from that candle wick high, it actually would be from that candle wick high to that candle wick low. So there'd be 1 standard deviation right there, 2 right there. We are getting a little bit of a push here. I like this so far. I might take a stab at this if we get a push through this. I'm going to call this a breaker here. Yeah, this is in Q. Yeah, I do. I do trade ES sometimes. Let's see what we get here. No, I haven't entered yet. Break a structure right here would be nice. Wouldn't be a bad entry up there. We just want to not have such a long stop. If we can get an entry on this, I'm going to take a stab at it. I think it wants to go higher based on the order book. Need a strong push here, boys and girls. Yeah, long this. If it starts falling back on me, I'm going to close this pretty fast because we still got sell side liquidity underneath this here. We needed to push hard through these gaps here. There we go. This is the 5-minute time frame. I just completely failed on that. Close the trade. This is in Q futures, yeah. I do like this for a long here. I really do. The entry is not ideal. I'd like to get in somewhere down here. That's really what I would like. If we can get a pushback somewhere in that level, I'd like it a lot more. Nice read. I really want a pull back into one of those gaps down lower. I don't think we're going to get it, though. This might just take off. Not going to FOMO into this. I closed the trade. It's all good. That's why I don't tell people about trading, man, because a lot of people are like, isn't that gambling? Isn't that risky? And it's like, living an ordinary life is way more risky to me. Let's see if we can get an entry there. I should have just held that trade. It's all good, though. Exactly. Tempted to try off this inversion. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to take a stab there. I must be getting old, man. My eyes are bugging right now. Should have waited for a better entry, boys. This is where patience pays off. Take off like a big bird. I hope you're short then, Siba. Completely disrespected the inversion. Should have been patient, boys. Should have been patient. Should have been patient. Yeah, should have waited for a better entry. I still think this wants to push higher. Might want to retouch this 2 minute down here. Yeah, Anthony, I closed that. I feel like for the past couple days, I'm gonna be straight up. My confidence has just not been there when it comes to trades that I take. I don't know what that's about. Oh, dude, I've back tested decades and decades of data. I do it every day. Put it right below that candle wick. See if this 2 minute holds. This gap is holding tight. We are pushing through a bunch of inversions and stuff too, so this is tough. This is five. Oh, for an eval, I used 1 to 3 minis. This is funded though. This is 5 micros. Yeah, for sure. Nathan. We needed to push hard through this gap. What a terrible entry on that trade. One minute is for gambling. Really need to push through this 5 minute here. It's holding hard. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. 1 minute's for precise entries. It's hard to get a precise entry on a 15. It's good to establish the setup maybe on the higher time frame, like a 15 or even a 5. That's not really a higher time frame, but to get a precise entry, you definitely want to drop down. This 5 minute is just holding. Master volume. I'm not sure what you're talking about. See, but this is M&Q, micro NASDAQ futures. I'm not a fan of this movement here, boys. Yeah, Cole, we're long with a terrible entry. Yeah, pre-market shorts were definitely the move right there, man. my entry's absolutely god awful, man. It was off of it was supposed to be off of this 2 minute, but because I didn't have a limit order set, there was slippage that had it up here. Yeah, Jay, don't. I hope you didn't copy trade that. This is not. I'm not performing well today. I'll be straight up. Two bad trades off the bat. About to get stopped out on this one too. Boom. Appreciate the follow, Thomas. Took 20 points in that last one. Nice, man. Good job. It's coming back down to touch into this one down here, which it did. If you got in from the bottom here, this is a good setup for longs. I was in down here and then got cold feet. That would have been a decent move from this touchback. Nope, not there. From this touchback all the way up to here, 60 points, man. That would have been a good move. Dead on right there at the inversion, pushing back up. I was just going to get caught in this. Looking for shorts, shorted for 60, nice. What's the indicator name of the FEG? Right there. Nah, sadly we just got our, we did not, we did not win a trade. We got smacked twice. Shorts on the inversion. I wouldn't be counting on that. This setup still, I mean, we touched back into that 1 minute inversion right there and then rejected back up off of it. So right now we're kind of caught between these two levels. See what it does. See, and then we're just getting a piss missile straight up now. Yeah, I'm done for the day. Well, that was funded. I'm done for the day unfunded. I'm still going to trade an eval. That's the rules. You got to mind them. This is just going to take off now. That's why you wait for a better freaking entry, man. I even said it. I'd love for price to come back down into here. I would have been even interested in that. But nah, got in literally at almost the top of the range there. Not disciplined. Do not follow that example. I thought we were potentially getting a 3-drive pattern here, which you'd have 1, 2, and then that third one would take off, but price has a mind of its own. It's mindset, man. It's there's a mental aspect to that Zach. I don't know what it is. You experience it more at the very beginning, but I still struggle with it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fun. This is the 1 minute, Jay. Master of volume, you're the man, bro. You're crushing it. Yeah, I got you. It's called the FEG/IFEG Nephew Sam. That's where I look for the entries, Jay. I mean, you can look at the 15 and get an idea of what's going on, but if you're looking for a good entry, this setup right here would this touchback. I mean, this would have been a solid entry for a long. But if you were just going off of the 5 or the 15, like, you're not really seeing that. Where's that's not showing up. You know what I mean? Like, all you're seeing is these 3 candles right here. So, yeah, I don't know, Judah. I like the way it's set up better than the Lux Algo one though. Hey, good for you, man. I'm not good for you. I can show you mine too. I'm not measuring dicks over here. I'm just saying that nobody in their right mind is going to say that funded accounts are easier to trade than evals. That's just a silly comment. It's like saying fundeds are easier than paper trading. It's like, okay. Guitar Heels. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a psychological difference for sure. I would say if we're pushing higher here, you're asking what we're targeting if we're going higher. Yeah, I think all-time highs where London high is up there, up at the top. If we do go all the way up, I think we pick up all of that, but we'll see. Price just wanted to come down here and stop me out and then go higher. Yeah, it's tough, Zach. It is tough. Consistency, though, man. Discipline and consistency, sticking to the rules. My instinct right now is full porting my evals and saying fuck it. But that's not smart. When you get that feeling, that's when you shut down the close the funded account and get out of there. Switch to paper, do something different. Who do I use for funded? These were Apex that I was trading today. Apex and Take Profit Trader are the two that I stick with right now. Pastor funded, nice. Congrats. That's awesome. It's definitely awesome. I'm not in. I'm not in a trade. Best of the best. If I had been in a trade, or ideally, I mean, I was in a trade a second ago, but ideally, if you were in this trade, the entry would have been this touchback right here, or somewhere around here. But you would have gotten like 50 points off of that before this pullback. Now we're just dumping for no rhyme or reason. Let's see if Trump tweeted something. Appreciate the follows. Trump hasn't said anything. Just a pullback. Appreciate the follows. I have not had any issues with payouts on Apex. Yeah, I've heard some people, getting denied payouts. I think they only do that if they suspect some sort of suspicious activity or something. I record all my trades, though, so I've had them ask for evidence or proof or whatever you want to call it before. Why right there? Because you had a tap back right here, V-shaped recovery. You had a sweep of a lower level, tap back into this inversion or this fair value gap. Targets would be up here probably for the first TP or for the second TP. That would have just been my setup. This little tool right here, price range tool, shows you the points. Tapped right back into that one right there. Benny, I don't know, man. I'd like to see that. You would think we got Trump announced a trade deal with South Korea. We got some decent economic numbers that were released this morning. You would think price would want to go higher here. So, but you got to trade price. You can't trade the news because they don't always match up, as we found out. What do you mean by forced all-time highs? I appreciate the follows. What do you mean by forced all-time highs? This is TradingView. So I use TradingView to mark out, to chart. And I use the ICT kill zone indicator to mark out sessions. How do you know if it's 1 or 2 minute or 3 minute fair value gaps? Is that time frame on each? I'm not exactly sure what your question is, but like if you're on the 2 minute chart, let's see, this is the 2 minute. This is completely invalid. But you would mark that out, and then when you switch charts, like here's the 5 minute we have marked out, and this is the 15 minute chart, so we can still see it on the 15. That makes sense. Does that answer the question? This is in queue, Alex. Yeah, Josh, we got clobbered on 2. Clay, what do we do here? I would sit on my hands if I was you. We're kind of just like floating in the middle of the range here. It's kind of just consolidating, best of the best. I mean, it's not a whole lot of move. Look at that. It's not really anything convincing either direction right here. We're pushing hard off this 5. I watch TJR for entertainment. Yeah, I'm up on the week. We had a good day yesterday. Think Trump tariffs are going to affect the market tomorrow. Yeah, I do. I think they're going to affect the market today because you would think that there was people scrambling to get some trade deals signed so that they don't get smacked with tariffs, which is what happened. South Korea apparently came to the table and they reached an agreement. I think you could see some other countries make that happen today too. Just made a great trade in 4 evals. Nice, man. Were you short off that 5? Yeah, I did. Kionjon. I don't know how to say her name. I apologize. But yeah, I got smacked on 2. Smacked on 2 trades. Over 2 on the day right now. We're done on funded, so we're going to trade one of these evals and see what we can do. Nice, man. Yeah, Sam. It just bounces off the 2. This is NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures. Yeah, I don't blame you, Zach. I don't blame you, man. Black girl. I think that's your name, BLK girl. Nice. Getting better is what it's all about. Get a little better every day. It's tough, man. Sam, it's hard. A lot of people are just like, I don't understand what's so hard about this. But the mental aspect of it is at least for me and most people I've talked to, it's the hardest part. You know, today, man, it just started pouring rain. Um, today I'm down 2 trades right now, and obviously, old Christian would have been like, all right, full port, we're getting it back. But you can't do that because that's how you blow accounts. Walking away is the hardest part, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man meets worlds. You're exactly right, man. I was telling somebody before I ever got a single payout, between the cost of paying for like education, between books and people's discords and things like that, and blown evals, I spent probably between $8,000 and $10,000 before I ever saw a dollar back. And that's most guys. You listen to most of the big guys. Like I was listening to Powell. I don't know if you guys follow him on here, but he was saying the same thing. But the thing is, once you start getting payouts, within the first month, you'll make all that back plus some. At least that was what my experience was. So within the first month, I had 5x that almost. Not quite. 3x it. Took 2 years, Gucci. 2 years. Yeah, Zach, it is an investment, man. Because when those payouts start coming, you're gonna be like, it was all worth it. It was definitely all worth it. Have I ever felt like crying after not following my rules? Uh, in terms of like an emotional response, yeah, yeah. I don't know about crying, but like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do cry. I'm not too insecure to admit that, but no, it's more frustrating than anything. Just an unbelievable amount of frustration when you don't follow your rules and it costs you. And then you look back when you get some clarity and you're like, why did I do that? I knew better. I knew better than that. Kona, I think we're just gonna keep consolidating right here, man. I don't know what this is about. I don't really understand it. I think this is just uncertainty due to the tariffs, maybe. I think the markets are anticipating the Battlefield 6 beta being released today, and they're just like probably not paying attention to this very much. They're focused on that. So NFP tomorrow, yeah. People don't realize how emotions are at play with big money. Mistakes will be made. Yeah, yeah, dude. It's bearish, bro. I'm not in a trade. I watch you and Jay Dunn trades. I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully you're getting something out of it. Even when I sit here and take bad trades and lose, learn not to do that. I made two mistakes, two huge mistakes this morning. I took two trades that proper entry would have been better if I had gotten in down here and just been patient instead of FOMO'd and then closed the trade early. And then I did the same. I repeated it and did the same thing the second time. So being impatient cost me money. If you make mistakes, the market will make you pay. There's no question about it. You're in short, Warrior? Nice. Good luck to you, man. I hope the bottom falls out for you. Yeah, I trade standard deviation. I mean, I use it as a confluence. Standard deviation. It's a statistical analysis of the mean, is the average from the average distance from the mean of price, something like that. Google it for a better definition. It's a statistical analysis. I trade London session 4x for the first time last night, and it was so much cleaner. Yeah. PM session yesterday wasn't too bad either, around like 233. How do you go about building your own strat? I don't like develop my own strategy. I trade the unicorn model, man. So like something that has that high of a win percentage or a win rate, I don't feel the need to implement any of my own strategy on it. I'm bouncing around on time frames, Clay. This is the 1 minute right here. Lost a lot on the NASDAQ dump. You were long on that? Young Barber, I'm not super familiar with the 15-minute orb strategy. I know roughly what it is. It sounded like earlier when we were talking about it, there's people in here that know more about it than I do. The unicorn win rate is around, it's like 77%. I don't blame you, Kona. This is ugly. This is not what I would want to be trading. Yeah, look up the unicorn model. That yeah, backtest instead. That's a smart move, man. Yeah, there are videos on it. Jay, ICT has several videos on it. ICT, go to ICT's YouTube channel, and he has videos on it. Other people have videos on it. That sucks, David. I wasn't anywhere close to pulling the trigger on anything, man. There's just too much news, too much stuff going on. I didn't know how the markets would react. He's something's going on with him, man. I don't know. His his strategies work, but him as an individual, he's a little tough to listen to. There's a excuse me. There's a channel called ChristianTrades that teaches a lot of the same strategies in a lot more palatable way. So you can check that out too. What do I do after trading? Usually I immediately eat and then go work out, go for a run, come back home, shower. I'm studying Japanese right now, so I study some Japanese. Yeah, just take care of anything I need to take care of. You're a non-native English speaker. It's tough to listen to ICT. Check out T-Trades, man. Check out T-Trades. He teaches basically the same stuff, but he's a lot easier to listen to. Is that the only strategy you use? Because ICT, it's the only one I'm focused on solely right now, Jay. But I am in the process. I mean, again, I've only been doing this 2 years, so I know that to some people might sound like a long time, but it's really not. So I do plan on incorporating what I'm interested in learning more about is momentum and order flow, because I've seen people have a lot of success with that. So I think combining that with ICT concepts is going to be hugely beneficial. Edgar, losing. What's up, L? This is what I do for income user. But losing, Edgar, is what will get you to start following your rules. You lose enough, you get tired of it. The rules are there to help you. SMT at the low. Yep. Ask away. Full-time trader, Isaac, yeah. I mean, main source of income trader, yeah. Trying to understand your question there. So, like, you talking about like right here? You talking about like a candle like that? Like this candle that taps into that created a bearish inversion, and then this bullish candle tapped into it. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, look, it would have played out. But yeah, that definitely is okay to do. What firm do I use? I use Apex and Take Profit Trader right now. How do you do your taxes? I refrain from talking about taxes on here because TikTok likes to flag people's posts for doing or lives for doing that. I would say if you're at the point where you are seriously wondering that, like for own personal reasons, I would contact a tax attorney and a CPA. Do I think I could have learned quicker in 2 years? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that the trading space was this popular on social media, and I had none of this stuff when I was learning. I mean, it was there, but I just didn't know it was there. I was kind of just freeballing it and trying to teach myself through trial and error. Top Step's good. There's nothing wrong with Top Step. Yeah, I think LLC is looking to form an S corp. But that's the extent of what I'll say about that. Do I think it goes lower? Potentially. Potentially. I had a short, but was late to it because of my Wi-Fi. Yeah. That's why you got to be hardwired, man. I'm hardwired with fiber connection over here. You can't be taking chances. Fiber internet. It could go lower, Ross. It's really, I mean, right now it's definitely looking like a bearish momentum. That's awesome, Ross. Good job, man. Do I trade PM session too? Not usually, no. How many trades a week do you take? I try not to take more than 3 trades a day at the most. Yeah, I've done that before too, Ross. That sucks, man. And they don't do anything about it. They tell you that they won't. I mean, they say it in the fine print, and then they really mean it when you contact them. The first baseman? I am not. Who's he play for? Yeah, Judah, I don't blame you, man. I'm down pretty heavily on funded right now, so I'm not taking another trade on there. So it's definitely not a bad idea to hop off if that's what you're feeling. Stick to your gut. No, Henry, I'm gonna trade. I got one eval I'm gonna trade. So I have a lot of evals, but I have one in particular that I'm gonna trade and try to pass. So we're definitely gonna take a trade if we see a setup. Christian Astros. You kind of look like him. Okay, I have to check him out. Man, I have not been paying attention to baseball at all this year. At all. All right, Zach. Take it easy, man. Congrats on the eval wins. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, basically a divergence on NQ and ES. I guess is the most basic way to explain it. Like you see how I think this would be considered an SMT right here. That's basically an SMT. Turn this off so you're not. How do I name the breakers and the fair value gaps? In the text right here. 102 years I've been trading, and this is my third month profitable. We keep making trades like I made today, though. That's going to be short-lived. We're bearish on the daily. Yeah, I mean, appreciate the analysis. How can you use SMT for bias? Typically, it's a confluence. Like you would think with the SMT where it was that this would be going long here, but we've pretty much made up a lot of that SMT, or we're close to it. So took me a year to be profitable. Nice, man. Up 300 might call it a day. Yeah, 300 is a good day, man. Been negative all week. Take your win. Don't give it back. Take your win. Don't give it back. Why and when did you start streaming? It's only been a couple weeks. I started because I was recording myself trading to kind of get an idea. Like you kind of lose track of time when you're in a trade. So I was just doing it. I was recording myself and my trades to watch back for educational reasons. And then I had other people that were asking me about trading. So I figured I'd stream and then send them the link so they could watch. And then it kind of just, all you guys started showing up. What do you use to screen record? OBS. OBS. Or you can use Streamlabs. Taking a payout doesn't necessarily mean you're profitable. I'm talking about consistent. You can't call yourself profitable after 1 month, man. That's literally impossible because you haven't had multiple months. You can make money 1 month and lose money the next, and that's not profitable. The definition of profitable in the trading space is consistently making money. ChristianTrades, good. Nah, man, I love it. I love hanging out and talking to you guys and helping people with what little I can do. Mr. Nobody, you're not. My buddy Brian, he's got the same name as you. Up 900 across 3 accounts. Yeah, dude, that's an awesome day, Jay. That is awesome. Yeah, living off trading is being profitable, yeah. Man, I pretty much did it by myself when I started. No one else. Well, I'll say I had one person, a guy in my family. He's not related, but he's in my family that trades, but he does like options trading and stuff. So we would talk about trading, and he's familiar with the prop firm space and all this kind of stuff. So he doesn't participate, but he was the only one at first that I could really talk to about this. But it's grown, man. I got several people. My girlfriend trades now. She's probably watching, listening while she's working. One of my brothers. So, yeah. Yeah, his name's Mr. Nobody, too. It's funny. Do you hunt or go out in nature at all? Yeah, fish. Yeah, do some fishing, man. I like to hike. I'm getting more into hiking. It's not something that I did before, but my girlfriend's gotten me into it. We've taken some trips and stuff. Went out to Zion not too long ago. That was pretty fun. Do you think it's emotionally not smart to live off of trading, dude? If you're making the kind of money that's available to make from trading, uh, that it creates a life that you can't help but live off of it. It'd be asinine to do anything else. Tried to bottom tick, straight cooked. Yeah, that happens. This is just going lower here. Yeah, hiking's fun, man. hiking's definitely, you see a lot of crazy stuff out there. If any of you guys get the chance to go to Zion, you should do it, man. It's like another planet. It's pictures do not do it justice. End of April. User. Stopped. I didn't quit. I just stopped doing it. I was taking on deals, and I finished up the last deal that I was on, and they kind of knew that school was starting, and I had summer school that started in May, so I didn't take any more deals. Yeah, master, exactly. You can take max payout of 2K every 8 days, and if you're copy trading 20 accounts, that's 40,000 every 8 days. So if you're, I'd say it's pretty emotionally okay to live off of that. I've seen several people post their payouts, and they are doing that. You got to think, all you need is 250 a day per account to take a max payout every 8 days, and you're making 40,000 a month, 40,000 a payout. That's 120 a month basically if you can take 3 payouts. It's sick, dude. That's awesome. I wish I had started when I was that young. Yeah, that was the goal by the end of this month, Master. That was my goal by the end of this month, but that is not what I'm on track to do. That is, dude, trading like on top of a mountain would be so sick. Need like Starlink or something up there. Any advice for me as a young trader? Discipline, man. Just establish the. I'm only at 2 accounts right now. Imagine 20. Yeah. Um, Discipline and learning the fundamentals is the biggest thing. If you can get a hold of the mental aspect of things, the technical analysis or market analysis side of things, market structure and all that, that'll come with time. But the hardest thing to get a hold of, and I would imagine it's even harder when you're young, is to get a grip of the mental discipline that it takes to be successful. All right, Judah. I like the discipline, man. I love it. No setup, no trade. We'll see you tomorrow. What age did I start trading? 2 years ago, so 30. I'm 32. How much have you spent on evals? Dude, like before I got profitable, probably like 10K, between 8,000 and 10,000. Up 239, nice, man. Yeah, call it a day. This is not ideal price action for, at least for me. Maybe it is for scalpers or something, I don't know, but it's not mine. Yeah, two losses and done, man. I don't blame you. Call it a day. Yeah, 8 to 10K, man. You got to think 2 years worth of, well, not on evals. That's evals, education, books, you name it, all the stuff. Trying to get this thing right, man. Trying to do it, and you got to think 8 to 10K. Wow, that sounds like a lot of money. Okay, how much are you going to pay to go to college, even a community college, for 2 years? You're going to spend that, and the earning potential for this is way higher than what it is coming out of a community college. If you're not getting any help with financial aid or anything, you're going to be spending 8 to 10K on a community college for 2 years. I know because I've done it. So if you think about it, you're investing in your education for the rate of return. The return on investment for this is way higher than it is for something like that. So it might sound like a lot on its face, but if you look at it from a investment standpoint, it's really not. Yeah, that's nice, dude. Yeah. I'm a college student too, man. It's a balancing act. Yeah, the discounts help a lot. If I had paid full price for all of that stuff, no telling how much that would have been. D-Dog. I like the unicorn model, man. That's what I try to stick with if I can find it. Basically, I mean, if I get a variation of the unicorn model, looking for a breaker with a V-shaped recovery, a sweep of a major liquidity level, uh, an inversion to happen on the V-shaped recovery, or a formation of a fair value gap, and then a retest of that gap for a draw on liquidity higher. So like London high would be the draw here. But yeah, that's mostly it. Yeah, unicorn models on YouTube. Up to 277. Nice, man. Very nice. Congrats. This is NASDAQ futures. This isn't Forex. So this isn't a pair. I highly recommend you switch over to NASDAQ futures if you're trading Forex. Although, I mean, some people crush Forex. It crushed me, though. Forex crushed me. The next major level would be down here. But this could easily just... All right, Maya, take care. Till about right now, Christian. Till about right now. But I'm going to hang out. I like to hang out and see what price does and talk to you guys. What was your experience on Forex? I wish I could describe this the way that I want to describe it, but I don't think I'm allowed to use that kind of language on TikTok. It was not pleasant. It was you know what a margin call is? If you're familiar with the term margin call, if you're not, look it up. But I was the king of the margin call. Meaning I just did not know what I was doing, and I was constantly just throwing money at it. Angela, I live off it right now, man. My bills are not super expensive, though. I live well within my means. I appreciate it. What would I recommend to somebody just starting out day trading? Spend as much time on your education as you can, man. Constantly be learning. Constantly be learning. YouTube would be a good place to start. Find some content creators. I guess you can call them content creators. Traders that are legitimate, that aren't just trying to pull money out of you, that actually care about doing this properly, and follow them. Pay attention to what they say and whatever they recommend to you. Journal your trades. Every trade that you take, journal them. Why did you take the trade? If you operate under the mindset of, okay, every trade that I take, I'm going to have to talk to my boss at the end of the day and tell him exactly why I took this trade. And if I can't justify it, he's going to fire my ass. That's a good mindset to have. I'd be fired after today. Hours, yeah, hours and hours. TJR has some good concepts. He's goofy. Some people love that. There's some more serious, like T-Trades is a channel that teaches really fundamental concepts in a very educational way. I think TJR is probably chock full of knowledge, but he focused more on actually just creating funny and engaging content. But he still has some good stuff you can learn from. I've gone through his boot camp. I moved from Dallas, 2K rent to the country with 600. Dude, that's nice. Yeah, I'm sitting at about 2,300 for a studio right now, and that's my only real major expense. TGR is twirt. I'm not sure what that means, but I think I can guess. He's a goofball, man, but he does, the concepts that he teaches, you can find them in a more educational format, like with T-Trades. Nah, I'm right next to a college, man. So they have a monopoly. There's a housing shortage, and this is like the best place to live. So they can get away with charging that. It's ridiculous. You would think it was New York. At least in New York, you'd get the benefits of being there. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the place, but there's still a lot of benefits to being there. Yeah, the housing bubble. Love the streams, bro. Appreciate it, man. Glad you're here. I really do appreciate that. Do I think it's possible to become profitable without the need to pay for subscriptions or one-on-ones? Yes, I do. But I think that you will, the more money you can dump into your education, the quicker, should I say that? Yeah, I think that's fair to say. The quicker you will be profitable. Potentially, Jay, yeah, I see what you're looking at, although we're reversing out of nothing here, unless I'm missing something. We're kind of just in the middle of the range here still. Is this equilibrium? Is that what we're touching into here? Yeah, we're kind of just reversing out of nothing here. Just past CE of this 15-minute gap. I think we're still in a 2 hour, right? Oh, we touched into this 2 hour inversion down here, and we're pushing back out of it. Okay. Yeah, you'd like to see, Jay. I'd like to see it sweep some sort of clearly identifiable level. You know what I mean? Like you'd want to see. Typically, it's like a London low or an Asia low or New York PM low from yesterday, which you have right here. Like you'd like to see it sweep that before going higher. That's typically, in terms of my strategy and what I look for, that's what I try to keep an eye on. I don't like taking trades in the middle of the range with no, like, because right now, if you were to take this trade, is it going to go lower? I mean, there's draws on liquidity in both directions. So I'd like to see it sweep one level clearly and the draw on liquidity be very clear in the opposite direction. Nice, Fats. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You're more green than I am today. Are there any courses or books or forms of education that you would personally recommend? So, if you're looking for a book, there's a book called The Best Loser Wins. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend that book. Trading in the Zone is another good book. Um, the YouTube channel ICT is got some great stuff. T-Trades is a YouTube channel, great stuff. Um, and the Discord that I recommend to everybody is PJ Trades. I was in that Discord. I still am in that Discord, but I was in the paid side of it for a long time, and it helped me out tremendously. Just with discipline and mindset. Also having people in there who are being serious about this and not just YOLO in trades and being reckless. PJ's a great mentor to have. He doesn't do one-on-ones, but he does. He is very engaging and interactive in the Discord. You just started trading in the zone last night. Great book, man. It's a great book. I don't typically rely on EMAs. I do. I like to look at the RSI sometimes. Um, and you can see if like it gives a pretty clear indication of if the market's overbought or oversold. Let's see if I can fix this for you so you can see it. I'm going to cut off a little bit of my face here. So this kind of gives you an idea of on the different time frames, whether the market's overbought or oversold. So right now, you'd think based on this that price is going to want to go up, at least for a little bit. But I just use that as a confluence. I don't solely rely on that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the RSI is definitely a good confluence to have. Now, I've seen it disrespect the hell out of the RSI, and it's like, where did that come from? So don't use it as the only confluence for taking a trade. Hey, Henry, I'd call it a day, man. If you're down 700 and now you're up 5, I'd definitely call it a day. Yeah, Nathan, that's true. Yeah, it definitely is a good confluence to have for when to close a trade. Let me use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Everyone double tap, bringing more viewers. Appreciate that, man. I'm 6'5", Alexa. I'm finna go to the gym now. I made my trade for the day. Hey, good job, man. Hit it hard. Dude, what's this? You talking about the price action? Yeah, yeah. This is NQ futures. NASDAQ futures. Appreciate the follow, Jaden. Appreciate the follow, Tony. It's storming like crazy over here. I do prefer futures over Forex, man. I definitely do. Forex is not for me. What's my bench? I don't know what my max is. I work out with 315 though. You think it should go higher? I really don't know, man. I really don't know. This is really just not ideal price action. I mean, that's not, this is ugly. My natural right now, I am. Yeah, I have been for the past year, a little over a year. That's why I'm not as big as I was. How many pull-ups can you do? I don't know, man. I don't. That's a good question. That's probably something I should know. I don't know. Did you take anything yet? Yeah, we got clapped on 2 trades early on in the session. We closed out our fundeds with down on 2 trades, and I switched over to evals. Have not taken a trade on an eval yet. Would I ever get back on? Probably not, man. Probably not. I kind of just wanted to see how big I could get, and I think I've kind of figured that out. So I'm good. Calisthenics are goated, man. Very functional. What's my risk? What do you mean? I usually stick with on evals 1 to 3 minis. On fundeds, I do 1 micro for every 500 to draw down. So on fundeds, I'm risking typically no more than 500 on a trade. Yeah. Yeah, don't get big thinking you're going to start pulling a bunch of chicks. Although they do like it, mostly you'll get other dudes, like not hitting on you, but complimenting you and wanting to know how you do it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you the best thing about being in good shape, though, is when you're in a business environment, you get a level of respect that automatically that other people have to work a lot harder for, which is interesting. You long to got break even? Yeah. I'm not seeing anything here that convinces me that we want to go long right now. This is all just dumping. I think we're going to fully retrace the entirety of this move. I did not short. My longs got cooked today. Yeah, Christian. I had 2 longs and they got cooked. I thought this dump was just an initial manipulation and then we were going to go higher here, but I got cooked on the rejection of this 5-minute. Wait for the close. Yeah. When did Bradley Martin start trading? Dude's yoked. Yeah, Louis. I was in 1 long and closed early and was up $70 or something, and then opened another one and got cooked on that. Got cooked hard. Yeah, I got levels on the other screen that I'm looking at, Algo. I got multiple screens. I got 4 different screens I'm looking at here. This is the 3-minute. I just bounce around. That 1 minute. Look at how ugly that is, dude. PCE was not better than expected. It was at 0.3%, which was what the forecast was. It was forecasted at 0.3. It came in at 0.3. Isaiah, if you're on TradingView and you don't have, you haven't paid for data, you haven't paid for market data, then it'll be 15 minutes delayed. This is NASDAQ futures, Sir Buttkiss. I would not trade a live account until you've been profitable for 9 to 12 months, at least. And profitable, I don't mean just taking payouts. I mean like consistently making money and making a good bit of it. Alexis, yeah, I got cooked on 2. No, today I got cooked. Got cooked hard. Took 2 irresponsible trades. That's smart. Paper trading is definitely smart. Maybe I should switch over. What up? What up, brother? Eval today. Yeah, there you go. That's smart, man. Once you, I don't know, I'd wait that long, but once you are consistently profitable or consistently making money, having green days on paper, I'd switch to a prop firm, try that out, and if you start taking payouts on that, that the trading personal capital is like the last step. That's top tier. So paper trading, evals, trading the fundeds that come from those evals, and then personal capital after like 9 to 12 months of being profitable. Appreciate the gifts, man. Appreciate that. That's fine. Let me know if you want to see something in particular. Yeah, John, don't trade if you don't see your setup, man. TPT's great. I think you'll like them a lot. And they just incorporated something else where they give you, I think they give you the eval costs back in your first payout. So it's basically a free eval if you take a payout. And there's no activation fee. So they're definitely throwing some competitive terms out there. A lot of people like Top Step. Yeah, they're the OG in the industry for sure. My Funded Futures has some good stuff going on. Alpha Futures has some good stuff going on. There's enough firms right now that are legitimate that they're all kind of competing with each other for your business. So it's a good from a consumer standpoint, it's a good time to be in the market. That's why I don't see any point in trading personal capital right now unless you're just cooking. I am the goat. I blew my funded 3 days after passing it. Hey, I got you beat, bro. First time I ever passed an eval, I blew my funded the next day on 2 trades. Let's see you beat that. I think base hits win ball games, man. Base hits win ball games. I think if you're cutting your profits short, if you're taking profits and the trade's still running, and you're just getting out because you're scared to not lock in profits, that's not a good mindset in the long run. But if you're taking trades with the intent of a small, like if you were to take a long right here and your target profits like this right here, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If that's your plan and you're executing it, I think that can lead to you over trading though. I'm up on paper for the day. Should I stop for the day or continue practicing? That's up to you, man. If you want to start trying to stick to rules that you're going to use when you get onto a funded account, then I'd say stop for the day. LOL, this person is a gambler. Who are you talking about? Talking about me? Yeah, early on in my trading career, I definitely was. I think everybody goes through that when they're new. Just opened my first funded today. Nice. Yeah, I think it's up to 2,500 or 2,000 is interday. Then after that, you're good. I'm gonna try to take another trade. I switched over to eval. I'm gonna take, if I get a good setup, I might take a stab at it. But we're getting to the hour where I'm getting tempted to cut it off because volume dies out and it's just not ideal. Any tips for a 16-year-old beginner? Like I was saying earlier, man, I think YouTube is a good place to start building your education. Paper trading, that's what I would, once you've established a decent understanding of market structure and price action, start paper trading. And for a 16-year-old, I think that's all you can legally really do. So I would just do that until you're 18, and then once you're 18, open up a prop firm account and take a stab at an eval. Yeah, lunchtime trades are terrible, man. Definitely not ideal. Read as many books as you can, and watch YouTube videos and take notes. You know, do all that stuff. Journal your trades when you're paper trading. Journal why you took the trade. What were you feeling? What were the confluences that you saw that made you take the trade? How did the trade play out? What were you feeling during the trade? All those things are important. Hey, I'm not advocating any of that, Dre. I'm sure a lot of people do it, and I don't discourage it, but you got to take that up with the tax man. I'm long, so if you guys want to win, go short. It feels like that. It feels like that sometimes. I was joking with my brother the other day, man. He was like, he was saying something along those lines, and I was like, yeah, the entire global market is out to get you. That sucks, Nathan. Call it a day, man. This price action is no bueno. I have not watched the 2024. 2022 is the only one I've watched. Yeah, call it a day, man. Don't revenge trade. Unless, nah, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You know better. What would a profitable trader do right now? They would call it a day, and they would go for a walk or a run or go work out. Nice, Steven. Yeah, call it a day, man. Good job on that. Think we're oversold? According to the RSI, we are. Look at PJ Trades in the chat. Hey, I appreciate it, Steven. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Hey, you guys give PJ Trades a follow. The GOAT. Check out his Discord. He's the one I've been telling you guys about. We gotta. Hey, I grew up a Duke fan, man. I grew up a Duke fan. I've switched teams. PJ, did you guys take a trade? I'm gonna take a guess that you didn't with this price action. I'm not trading jack crap here. This is not, nothing I see here is interesting. We're kind of just hanging out. We're hanging out and chit-chatting. Oh yeah, man, I forgot you were headed out. Nice. Yeah, you're not missing anything. Trust me. We're not trading any of this. I did take 2 L's on the morning. I thought we were getting a move back higher up here, but it did not go as planned. So we took 2 L's on the funded and closed them out, done for the day on those. And potentially going to take a trade on the eval, but with the time being 11:30, we're probably just going to hop off here in a minute. Somebody was asking me about education and all that. If you're looking for a Discord, man, PJ Trades runs a high level Discord that you guys would benefit from for sure. So you guys check that out. There's a free side and a premium side. Both are very beneficial. Yeah, Jay, he's the guy I was telling you about last night, man. That's the Discord I was telling you about. Definitely worth checking out. I'm going to give this a few more minutes and then I'm going to hop off and go hit the gym because this is not what I want to spend my time doing. Not that I don't want to talk to you guys, but I don't want to sit here and watch this price action. What to do, you think, Christian? I'm in short. What to do? I don't know, man. Unless you got short up here, I wouldn't have opened a short. But I'd have your stop probably above this 5-minute candle here, maybe at the most up here. I think above this 5-minute would probably be where I'd have it at 23,552. Ja, you haven't missed anything, dude. Go back to sleep. You're not missing anything on this. I think we're hitting a pretty hard inversion down here, right? Are we about to hit it? Yeah, we did. We touched into this 15-minute inversion right here. We haven't inverted it yet, Rylan. This 5-minute right here, we got 15 seconds till the candle closes. Yeah, if it happens. I still wouldn't trust it too much, man. We got pretty strong bearish order flow here, so if you're looking at the DOM is still not convincing for longs in this. Nice, Jay. You're up on the day, right? You're up on your PAs. Yeah, nice, man. Good job. Haven't seen a good setup, so I'm going to go and just back test later. Yeah, Isaiah, that's a great idea, man. Do not trade this. If you're not seeing something that you like, which I don't see really anything that anybody should like in this, I would just call it a day. Kelly, the darker candles that sometimes show up are like those right there. That's from this RSI indicator. That's from this. So if I get rid of this, where'd it go? It's an indicator. It's an indicator doing that. I don't really know what it means. Trash the indicator, it goes away. Yeah, you too. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. this 5-minute invert? No. Got liquidated today? That's tough. That is tough. Was it a funded or was it a eval? Yeah. Got to protect that capital. Got to protect it. Hey, I took 2 L's on longs too, Patron. So I thought we were at the bottom of the move here, and then going to push higher up to London highs, but definitely was not what the market wanted to do. You didn't want their money anyway, Nathan? Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want their money. Yeah, they played us a try again Monday since I do shit on Fridays. Yeah, Fridays aren't, for me, aren't the best trading days. But we do have some news tomorrow, I think, don't we? Yeah, we got a good amount of news tomorrow. And we got NFP. That is, yeah, whoever called that out, that's going to be a little hectic. Day before NFP, that's probably why price is acting this way. I think we got some tariff news tomorrow too, don't we? Or am I tripping? Am I mistaken about that? Thoughts on a long here? I don't know, man. That's your call. I'm not seeing anything that I'm super convinced about. I mean, I don't know. That's your call. I'm not taking a trade. Yeah, you can't win all the time, man. You gotta leave some for the rest of us. Lost my funded on this trade. Yeah, that sucks, dude. Any trades today? Yeah, we took two L's. Took 2 L's. Unfortunate. We had a great day yesterday and then got cooked on two L's today. This 5 minutes gonna flip here in 30 seconds if it stays above it. Yeah, Mason, stick around, man. You learn the basics. I don't sell any courses or anything, but you'll probably gain a little bit from these lives. We just flipped that 5 right there. This month I'm leaving plenty for everybody else. You're the man. So generous. You're so generous, Nathan. All right, Patron, take it easy. Have a good weekend. Light in the darkness, my God. If there's a volume imbalance with a fair value gap, uh, do you draw it include in the volume imbalance? I'm not sure about your question. A fair value gap is basically a volume imbalance. Time to make it back, Jaron. Don't adopt that mindset, man. That's a good mindset to blow your account in a disciplined way. I'm gonna full port in a disciplined way. Uh, Jay, so let's see if I can get this to cooperate with me, and I'll show you a decent. This isn't the best example, but this is maybe an okay example. So you got a breaker here on the 1 minute. And you had a 30-second gap right here. This price is bouncing off of this 30-second. But you have the sweep lower. There was a major liquidity level swept right here. You had this V-shaped recovery. Excuse me. You had this V-shaped recovery. You had the tap back in. And typically you'd want to get a tap back into a fair value gap or an inversion that's inside of this breaker. And then you got to have a clear draw on liquidity higher. So you would have had this level right here is a good draw on liquidity, and I think you had a maybe even higher level than that. But come on, I hate how it does that. But that would be the setup right there that you're looking for. You'd like it to be a little more convincing than doing this sort of consolidating right here. You'd like it to come out of the breaker, tap back in, and then immediately reject higher. So that's kind of what you would be looking for on the setup. A good draw on liquidity would be like a major level. So I use the ICT pivot kill zone here that kind of marks out the session highs and lows, and those are good major liquidity levels. So you got New York PM right there, New York AM right here. We swept. And this was, it's frustrated, but major levels. Major levels. London highs right here, London low. Those are the major liquidity levels. Draws on liquidities. The recovery of this looks pretty good. Rocco, we're getting closer to looking. I mean, if you're looking for a trade here, we're getting closer to longs here, but I'm not looking for anything right now. Yeah, you'd want to pull back a tap back in to get an entry, and then that's where you would target. First target would probably be in this 5-minute area. Unless we're just going to bounce, we could just bounce lower off this 5-minute, just reject all the way back down. Sorry, I was eyeballing this. What kills an indicator are you using? This one. No, it's not bad to be in longs right here. I think you got some pretty convincing confluences that are making that seem like a decent idea. You got to push through this 5-minute gap right here. You're gonna have some pretty heavy resistance on the way up, but I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it. I mean, I'm not taking it, but I think if you're in there, it's not a terrible idea. I think you could get a tap back into one of these gaps and then maybe longer. Remind you of Joey Swole. I'll take that as a compliment. But that 5-minute is holding right here. Appreciate the follows and the shares. $15-minute gap. Yeah, those are the higher the time frame. That 15 is right there. Yeah, you're right. So you got to keep an eye on that. If we're going higher, we're gonna have to push through all of that. Yeah, Danny, I'm live every day, every morning. So would you want to pass the 15 gap, then retrace back for entry? That would suck because if you were to take an entry right here, your stops would have to be below, like you would not get the best stop. You'd have to. I would want to lower my sizing if I was entering the trade up here, greatly lower my sizing, probably in half, because really where you'd want to be in on this trade is this tap back right here, or this tap back. That's not really a tap back, but this is a tap back. I'd want to be in like right here. But if you're waiting to get in on the breaker, this tap back right here would be a nice tap back to enter on. You're way up in the top of the range here when you're entering up here. So your stops would have to be super wide. And if your stops are super wide, you want to obviously be lowering your risk so that you don't lose more money. Edison, I would not be short here. This setup is ideal for a long. I'm not seeing anything that says short here. 200 away from blowing an eval. Yeesh. That's recoverable, but it's a question whether you want to. Is the time it's going to take to recover from that worth it versus just buying another one? Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm working right now. You mean call you back? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, no. There's a parking deck that I I'm trying to remember. It was like $10 maybe to park in there, and they were directing traffic, so it wasn't bad. Getting out was a bitch because I parked towards the top, so that took a while. But it there's how far away is the hotel from the venue? I'd probably, and you're going to be drinking too, aren't you? I'd just Uber it. Yeah, I mean it's going to be an expensive Uber probably, but it might be worth it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right. See you. Would longs be valid here? Potentially, Christian. Yeah, I think this would be a nice long setup. The entry is kind of hard at this point. This 5 minute gap is holding up. Now we're just pumping lower here. So I would be patient. Price is just acting really wonky today. And you got to think, we're right here at 12 o'clock. The lunchtime is not a time you want to be in the market. So I'd be very careful getting in any position here. Um, we're tapping into this 2 minute inversion, 3 minute inversion here. We could just reject higher out of these. But again, price is acting kind of wonky today. And you got to think about the time. It's 12 o'clock. So you got to take all these things into consideration. You're still short, John? Well, it's pumping back down. It's rejecting hard off that 5 minute. Nickname Money Tree. My girlfriend got me that, dude. I love that thing. I got all kinds of plants in here, man. Got all kinds of like. This one's kind of cool. I like this one too. It's kind of cool looking. Yeah, I like them, man. They're fun to look at. Just aesthetically pleasing. I appreciate that, Jay. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Tony. We're getting a pump out of that 3 minute, three, four, two, out of this inversion right here. I don't know what Price wants to do. If you guys are looking for a bias here, I really don't know, man. If I was a betting man, if I was gambling, I'd say higher, but I'm not willing to gamble, so that's the reason I'm not in a trade. Let me borrow 20 till tomorrow. I got you, man. My check's in the mail. I paid my taxes. That's my contribution. Yeah, Ja, you would have been cooking, dude. That was it definitely cooked. We got burnt right here. We were long and got stopped out. Nice, John. I need a nap, dude. What up, Teresa? Yeah, there's a lot of beginners in here. Dude, I'm looking small right now. I appreciate it though. This is Nasdaq futures. Tex, I feel like you were in here. You've been in here before. That's what we trade. We trade Nasdaq futures or S&P futures. Those are the two that we stick with. Appreciate the follow, Jaden. Yeah, Teresa, there's a lot of newbies in here. You're in the right place if you're looking to be around other newbies. No, I'm not in anything right here. Tony, my max that I've ever tried and succeeded with is 405. I work out with 315 though. You probably bench more than me. You're long off the 5. That's a good entry. It's a good entry, Noah. This is yeah, it's micro E-mini. Micro E-mini. You weren't lying. I appreciate that, man. You didn't have to do that. You're the man. Appreciate it. P&L for today, I'm down 885 on 7 fundeds, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm done on fundeds for the day, so those are going to stay at negative 885. What's your narrative for today? What you mean? What's my bias? I appreciate it, ACS. Yeah, it you know, it happens sometimes. Nice, good job. That's a good feeling. It's a good way to wrap up the week if you don't plan on trading tomorrow. When do I move my stop loss? It depends, man. If I were to be in, let's say, let's do a little math here. If we're targeting the highs up here, I'd probably take off around 0.5 standard deviation. So probably around there, maybe a little lower. Maybe here. I'd move to break even if I'm long off this inversion. Passed them all gambling, Tony. Don't do that on the fundeds, man. Don't do that on the fundeds because you will lose them quickly. Hello, sir. Could you tell me what really changed you to become profitable? I struggle with my the psych. Getting a hold of revenge trading, over trading, being okay with taking a loss and moving on. You got to be able to take a loss, man. You got to be able to get punched in the mouth and say, all right, that's it for the day. Just like I did. I mean, today's a perfect example. I got absolutely mollywopped down 885 there. So, you know, old me, if PJ was still in here, he'd tell you this because he and I talked about this a lot when I was struggling. I had a really hard time on I'd have an amazing month, and then I'd have one day where I just blow up, where I lose 1 or 2 trades, and then I just go off the rails and revenge trade so hard that I end up blowing my accounts. Once I got a hold of that, you know, you're going to have losing days. You're going to have losing days where you just, you're not on your game, or you're on your game and just price doesn't follow through the way you think it should. And you got to be able to say that's just one day. It's not a bad week. It's not a bad month or a bad year. It's just a bad day or a bad trade, bad two trades, and move on. Otherwise, you're just going to get cooked. What are you looking for to happen in the session at this point? Also, have you taken any other setups today? We took 2 L's. We were long right here and got stopped out. This is shaping up to be a decent long. I think we push through this 5, and you're looking for higher here. There is a 15-minute gap right above it that could hold. So it's kind of tough. There's going to be some heavy resistance and a long here, but I think price seems to want to go higher. It's just this 5-minute gap is holding pretty strong. Yeah, Jay, there's days where you shouldn't take a trade. Like I didn't take a trade this past Monday or Monday before. There's days where you should not trade. It's just like you don't see a setup or price just isn't moving the way it should, and how do you manage taxes? You got to talk to a tax specialist, man. You had 3 red 1K days. Can you write off funded as a business expense? You can write off evals, I think. Again, you got to get to a tax specialist for all that kind of stuff, man. Find a CPA that's familiar with the prop firm space. And any advice? What in terms of what, Javier? In terms of what? My name is Christian. Yeah, but I am a follower of Jesus as well. Yeah, TPT is great. I think you'll like them a lot, man. Especially you seem to be very disciplined, so I think you'll do well with the trailing that they have and all of that. I think you'll be. Look at that. We're pushing hard through the. This trading view is so delayed compared to Trade of 8, man. This 15's gonna be the troublemaker. There you go. Getting me out of drawdown and some. There you go. That's awesome, man. This acts like it wants to push high. Yo, we taking longs. I don't. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I'm not taking one here. I'm just watching. I don't like that we're in the 12 o'clock hour. Nico, I appreciate it, man. God bless you too. There you go. Have a good one, man. Have a good workout. I'm watching the order book over here. I make those myself, John. I make those. I'm watching to see if we invert this 5 here. I don't think that it wants to, but we're going to find out. Yeah, just dump back. Nah, we took 2 L's. Took 2 L's and then got clapped. F5 is just holding. That's it for me, though. I'm going to call it a day right there. 2 L's on the day. Not going to overtrade. Going to stick to my rules. And we'll be back tomorrow to try again. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody coming in here and all the follows and the gifts and everything. You guys have a blessed day. Stay safe. Y'all be good. Appreciate you.